That's some painting here. Day in the life. That's some painting. So, what are we gonna do today? Well, I got these got the guys up there working on an exterior in Paradise. While they're doing that, I'm gonna first I gotta go to the paint store. I gotta pick up an interior drop from over there, a newer one. Then I'm gonna go to a customer's house. She has some drywall damage on the ceiling, where someone did some drywall work for her, and the mud is falling off the ceiling. So I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna start prepping on that. Just get all the falling mud taken down. I might go to Home Depot, get some mud, go float that out, start prepping that, because I want to mud and texture that, get that ready, get it all textured, and then I'll have my guys go over there and they'll do the painting for the roof or the ceiling. The painting part, I'll do the texturing part, they'll do the painting part. Then at 11, I have to meet with another customer. I painted her house a couple years ago, a year ago or something, and she had some drywall rot damage on the chimney. Around the chimney, they got that like, I don't know, it's T111. When they did these track houses, they didn't do them really well. They just did them for, you know, to make an income. So it dry rotted out, wasn't protected, didn't have no paper backing and anything. So I seen that when I was painting, notified her, and she just got finally got somebody out there to do it. Everybody's so busy. Small jobs like that, it's really hard to break away and do. So anyways, I'm gonna go over there, I'm gonna evaluate that, give her a little estimate on what it will cost. I might even do it today. And then what else do I have to do? And then I have an estimate at 1. So it's a busy day. So I'm making these videos so my guys can watch it, to know that I'm not just sleeping all day. Well, sometimes. Okay, to the paint store it is. Be back in a minute. All right, we've arrived. We are at Knight's Paint. Here we go. That's where I buy all my products. Knight's Paint, Benjamin Moore. We're going there and we're gonna get this drop real quick. There's one of my cronies right here. It's my crony, Chico High Wrestling coach. That's one of my cronies. We're gonna come in here. This is a beautiful store.
What is that?
Potential worker right here.
Oh, what? Construction worker?
Potential worker. We are going to buy on these 9x15s.
Do you have like a vlog or something?
Yeah.
You do, really?
I do.
On YouTube?
Yeah, a couple of them.
I didn't know that.
70,000 views. We just got to this customer's house, and I'm gonna show you about a little something I'm gonna be doing. So somebody did this work for her, or not for her. She just bought the place, but somebody did this work, some drywall work, and if you can see that there's actual drywall texture underneath the work they did. So what I'm pretty sure happened, but it's throughout the whole house. So what I think happened is, whenever they did this, whoever, they didn't dust prior to putting the mud on, and what it did is it didn't bond. So it's throughout the whole house, man. So I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna pop all this stuff off and see exactly how much is gonna come off, and try to get this stuff straightened out for her. So that's where we're at. Put these drops down, we'll move it over here, get it all dropped off, and start knocking these little pieces off and see what we got. All right, I just left that job that I'm fixing that drywall work. I have to go meet somebody to look at that chimney that was dry rotted. So I'm gonna go over there. I had it broke away. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna look at that chimney. Then I'm gonna go to Home Depot, pick up some mud, drywall mud, and then head back over to the house put one coat of mud on, and then come back tomorrow and continue on. So I'll show you when I get to that other place. Okay, we're here. We already made contact. I painted this beautiful house too. I'm sure I already posted some photos of that. Let me get up here real quick. This is how it is. This one got replaced. This thing right here. Oh yeah. So we'll prime it. We'll prime it and get it painted. Okay, it is the following day. Got a little busy. Wasn't able to finish up with YouTube, or yeah, film. So anyways, what I'm gonna do now, I gotta go back to the paint store. I'm gonna get a gallon of primer. I'm gonna head back to the lady's house that I'm doing the ceiling texture work, and I'm gonna primer out those spots that I removed the loose texture. We're gonna primer those spots to ensure we got a good bonding of mud. Let it dry, and then we'll come back and top coat, and we'll go from there. So I'll keep you informed, and we'll go from there. Have a good day. Okay, we're back at the paint store. We're going in. We're gonna get a deuce. That's a 2-gallon bucket, a little grid, roller cover, and some primer. These are the greatest workers here in the world. So we're gonna come over here. Here's a variety of stuff that they have. So we're gonna go over here on this side. We're gonna get probably this right here. This will work perfect. Okay, this, we're gonna come over here. This is where they have their deuces at. This is what you call a deuce. It's a 2-gallon bucket. Okay, I already have all this stuff, but it's in the work trailer up in Paradise, and I'm not gonna drive all up there. So there's the setup. With this, I have the roller frame in the truck. So let's go look over here for some primer. For the primers, I got it in the back. Okay, but this is it. Okay, I'll fill you back in. Oh, look at this selection of paint. Beautiful selection of paint. These are the interior colors. You can only get these here because of the way they mix their paints, and you can only get them in, I think, Aura, the top quality product, and that's what I use. Very beautiful colors. Okay. Okay, just left Home Depot. Had to go in there, get some mudding tape and a box of mud. I'm gonna go back to this house. I'm gonna float these patches out. You know, just put a light coat, put some tape on them, and then take off. And then tomorrow, I'll come back, wash them out, put one more coat on them, top coat them, or however many coats it takes, but it should only take 2. Sometimes it takes, you know, like a touch up at the end, or at, you know, and then I'll let it dry again, and then come back again, mask everything off, spray the patches, and primer and paint them. All right, man. I'll let you see what happens at the end. Hopefully I can get a coat on them today. I got an appointment at 56 minutes. So we'll see. All right. Okay, so I scraped all the stuff back off these patches. Okay, got them back to a good bonding point, and then I primed them. Okay, so now that we've primed them, we're gonna put after they dry, of course, then we're gonna put a top coat, our first skim coat. Okay, looks ugly, bear with me. And then now that this is dry, we're gonna wash it out, and then we'll put another top coat. And then after we wash that out, which is wet sanding basically, and then we'll texture. Okay, but so this one, you know, we're gonna put our drywall mud, our tape texture. Okay, but all of them got primed. They're all primed, they're all dry. Just want to ensure there's good bondage. Our alarm is going off. Excuse me. This one, there was a big old hole the unit came together, where the modular came together. So I put spray foam in there for some backing, because it was just a 2-inch, no, it was about an inch gap, and it was a big old hole. So we're gonna get all this fixed up, and I promise you it's gonna look extremely nice. Okay, all of it. Okay, here's the sponge that I'm using for wet sanding. Okay, it has like a rough edge on the sponge, and so we'll get that wet, and that's what we'll use to sand out the drywall mud. That way you don't want to sand inside somebody's house, so to speak, because you don't want that dust everywhere. So we'll get it all sanded up, wet sanded, and I'll let you know. I'll put a skim coat on everything. Tomorrow we'll come back, wet sand that, and we'll get it right. Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay, everything has its first top coat on it. Oh yeah. Everything has its first top coat, and everything is cleaned up. I just went through and I vacuumed all the floors, made sure that everything is picked up. Okay, that one looks, it's gonna need some work. That's gnarly. But things are looking great. But like I said, I went through, vacuumed all the floors, make sure that anything that may have been there, may have not, we clean it up. Everything, always we clean up our mess, no matter what. Every job we're gonna clean it up, no matter if it's a mansion or a little humble home. We're gonna make sure it's top quality. Okay, so there we go. Tomorrow we come back, or I come back. Tomorrow I'll come back, and I'm gonna wash these patches, wet wash them, wet sand them. I'm gonna put a top coat on them, let that dry, come back and wash that out, and we'll see, evaluate it. Sometimes it needs a little bit of a skim coat here and there. We'll skim coat it, and then I'll drop this whole place off with plastic. I'm gonna put plastic on all these walls, all the walls, protect the walls. And then I'm gonna come in here with the hopper and the air compressor and spray all these patches out. And then we'll let that dry, and we'll come back, prime them, let it dry for an hour, put 2 coats of finish on them, and call it done. And then walk through and make sure that she's 100% satisfied, and we'll go from there. Over and out. All right, we're back at it. Here we go. So I already came in, I washed them all out. I put a top coat on them. So this is basically what they look like. We're gonna wash them out, and they're gonna look like this. Okay. So when you wash them, so what happened? Okay, so look, the patch is here. Okay, that's the line. So if you come out just a little bit further, and when I say when you wash it out, you just smooth it out just a little bit here. You know, so it blends into this texture, and then you shoot the whole thing with texture, and you come out here. And by doing that, it's gonna blend this patch, and you won't even never see that there was ever a patch there. And that's how you do it. So this one's gonna need a little bit more love. So I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna come back and I'll top coat, skim coat that one more time. That's gonna need a 3. Now this one, we'll wash this out when I come back. These things are looking good. I'm pretty happy with them. So we'll let this dry. I'm gonna go, actually I'm gonna go paint a chimney. Oh, I took you guys over there. So I got that job, I'm gonna paint that chimney, prime it. Oh, we gotta turn this fan on. So look how much better this thing looks. So we're gonna let that dry. We're not gonna even mess with that until Monday. We'll wash it out on Monday, let it dry all the way out, wash it, skim coat it one more time lightly, and then that's ready for texture. Same thing with this, we'll wash that out on Monday. So on Monday we're gonna come, we'll wash them out, skim coat them a little bit, and we'll be able to shoot them with texture Monday. So Monday we'll get texture, Tuesday we'll get paint primer, and we'll be out of here. Over and out. All right, we back on this job with the chimney. When you're messing with this T111, especially when it's raw, I like to brush it all in, brush on all these things so I can get all up in all them crevices right there. You know, the whole purpose of paint, man, is ensure that everything is sealed. Yeah, sure, you do it to make it look good too and stand out, look pretty, but you want to make sure that you're protecting your wood and your siding and seal everything. So anyways, that's what I did. I'm gonna go get a roller and I'm gonna roll it all out. This is just primer, so we're gonna put a nice coat of primer on it, and then when we're done with that, we'll put 2 coats of finish. All right, so following day, it's all primed, caulked it in all yesterday. So the thing that I found was this chimney stack. It just looks like hell, man. So I've already painted the whole house. I'm gonna paint this chimney, and then I'm gonna leave it like that. Yeah, probably not. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna spray paint it black, get it freshened up, man, make it all look good. I always do this. Excuse me. Do a little extra. You know, obviously I'm not going to charge for this. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I see things that need it, and I'm just going to do it. So stay tuned. We're going to have all this painted up, and it's all going to look pretty. All right, there's the first coat. Okay, this thing came out beautiful. See, you need to get yourself a painter that cares. Look at this. This is beautiful. That's the first coat. Look at that poor thing. Ta-da. Fantastic. So give it an hour, let it dry, come back and put a second coat on it. All right, here we go. So I got everything washed out. It's a little bit still damp. Everything is plasticed off. The whole house plastic dropped. It's like a maze now. Everything is masked. All the floors are dropped off. Everything is ready to go. Floors, everything, and we'll pull this down and lock ourselves in. But there's a lot of, isn't that a coincidence? It's the same time my alarm went off last time. Anyhow, so everything is dropped off, plastic, and ready to shoot. So here we go. Back in a minute. There it is. Completely done. Well, not completely. I still have to come back and prime and paint them. But everything is good. Everything is cleaned up. Everything looks perfect and beautiful. Floors are vacuumed. Come back tomorrow. We'll prime them and get them painted. Wow. Done. Okay, so we got 1 coat of primer on there. Okay. And it is looking good. It's all shiny because of the primer, but or because it's wet. Primed, primed, primed. Restroom is primed, and everything is looking beautiful. I dropped off the floors and put plastic on everything before I started priming, just in case you have any questions. Okay, so we're gonna let this primer dry, come back in an hour, and put our finish coat. Two coats of finish. All right, stay tuned. Okay, done data. It's a little bit wet still. There we go.
This one was gnarly. That's all she wrote. Oh yeah. One right there. And we are done.